Throughout its time, the Kingdom Hearts franchise has had a large variety of video games spanning from 2002 to the current day, and in those games there has been a wide variety of different worlds from the franchises of Disney and later Pixar. But the question is, which one of these worlds has connected with me the most, and which ones do I enjoy the most? So in today's list I'm going to be focusing on just that. Today's list is my top 10 Kingdom Hearts worlds. So before I start the list, there is two quick disclaimers that I need to mention. First off, I have not played every single Kingdom Hearts game that there is. Most notably 365 and Recoded, I believe, are the two big ones which I've not played, along with Melody and Memories. Okay, there's actually three conditions. The second one is I will be focusing on core gameplay only. So like card-based ones such as Rechained and Memories will not be included in this list. Same with Melody and Memories. And the third one is I will not be including final boss levels such as the castle from Kingdom Hearts 2, the Dark World in Kingdom Hearts, and probably more notably for me is the Keyblade Graveyard from Kingdom Hearts 3. If I didn't have this rule, it would be on this list, but because of that, it's not. So, let's get on with the list and see what worlds have made my top 10 Kingdom Hearts worlds. Also, I just wanted to add this little extra bit. So, obviously because this is covering multiple worlds for multiple Kingdom Hearts games, be warned, there will be spoilers on this list. So, let's get into the list and see what's what. Number 10, Neverland, Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. So, I'm not going to lie, this list is primarily focused on 3 Kingdom Hearts titles, the first one of those being Birth by Sleep. So, Birth by Sleep is a little bit different than some of the others because you actually play as 3 different characters over 3 different stories. And Neverland is one of the worlds that you visit late on in the game as the characters Aqua, Terra, and Ventus. So the reason it's quite high on this list is because the dynamic is a little bit of an intriguing one. Because first off, if you play with Terra, you actually end up fighting Peter Pan in a mini battle, which is a little bit different. Normally, you don't fight the good guys. With Ventus is trying to find Terra in the end with I think the wooden key, and with Aqua, this is the first time where she faces Vanitas. So this is a little bit of an interesting level. Also, it's got probably one of the best level musics that you find in any Kingdom Hearts title, I have to say, and it's far better than the Neverland we got in the original Kingdom Hearts, that's for sure, because the original one was just basically Hook's pirate ship. Also, the voice acting is pretty good because it's from the later Kingdom Hearts, so it's from the later Peter Pan animated movie that they did. I think it was mid-2000s. It sounds about right. But yeah, it's a nice world to explore. The music is good, and I thought that the story was pretty decent. Number 9, Space Paranoids, Kingdom Hearts 2. So this is a little bit kind of a level within a level type scenario, because the Space Paranoids level is basically a computer inside Hollow Bastion. But the reason I wanted to put this on the list is because I do really like the one of the mini games that you can play, the Tron Cycles, because basically this world is Tron, but for copyright reasons they couldn't call it like a Tron world or anything like that. So you do have the character Tron in the game. I should mention I've never actually seen any of the Tron movies, so I'm basing this level just on the story itself. I think Tron is a pretty good character in the game. Like, you really grow to like him in the end. The level design it's not too bad, but the level music itself is pretty good. It's one of the better ones, I think, in Kingdom Hearts 2. So that's why I've put it at number 9 on this list. Number 8, The Caribbean, Kingdom Hearts 3. So this is probably, I think, the biggest open world in the... I think it's the biggest world in the history of Kingdom Hearts 3. As in, just the amount of space you can go to. You can pretty much go anywhere and not have to go through any like doorways or anything like that. So yes, basically, so the Caribbean is huge and you can sail all around it. Yeah, I'm not sure how this one exists compared to the other ones, but I don't know. I'm not technically sound. So the story basically follows the story from Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, so the third film, where Jack is stranded in David Jones's locker, where you start off, and then the story progresses. So it turns out you're traveling with a fake Jack, while the real one is following the story of the film. Eventually, you face off against Davy Jones, which is actually quite a good set piece, I have to say, the boss battle in this. Otherwise, yeah, it's just a nice level to just travel around and sail the boats with your ship. And if you get upgraded enough, you can eventually sail the Black Pearl, which is quite nice. Also, the only other part of the map which is separate is Port Royal. So this is quite a wide, expansive area which you can do a lot of crab searching, I guess you could say, like trying to upgrade your ship. It's just a nice place to go, and that's why I've put number 8 on this list. Number 7, Land of the Dragon, Kingdom Hearts 2. So this world is based off the 1998 film Mulan. I think it still holds up well to this day, the film. It's one of my favourites from Disney. So the story is basically as the film goes. So we meet up with Mulan as she's about to enroll in the army. And the Chinese army is dealing with Shan Yu, who's invading and eventually is trying to get to the Emperor. So you go through a couple of set pieces such as the Mountain Avalanche and the Palace Showdown, albeit not quite the same as the film, because obviously you have to face the Heartless instead of facing Shan Yu on a rooftop, if that makes sense. But I think the music is good. Obviously it's nice to have Min-Na Wen back voiced as Mulan. Voicing Mulan. I don't think Eddie Murphy is not the dragon. Oh, what's the dragon's? For some reason, I forgot the dragon's name. Mushu. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, but the voice actor is pretty good job, I'd say. I enjoy playing this level. And yeah, that's why I've put it at number 7 on this list. Number 6, Enchanted Dominion, Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. So this world is based off the film Sleeping Beauty, another film I haven't actually seen from Disney at the time of making this list, which is a bit funny. But the reason I've put it on this list is because of two main things. Firstly, in regards to the canon, in regards to the timeline, this is the first time we technically see Maleficent, and yeah, you actually get to fight Maleficent twice in this. One time as Ventus in the castle, and the other time Maleficent in her dragon form. And obviously Maleficent has turned out to be one of the key villains in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, still going to this day. The second reason I've put this on the list is because this is actually where Maleficent finds out about the seven lights of hearts, so the 7 princesses. Yeah, so this is Xehanort basically comes to this world, eventually spills like the secret of the 7 hearts. So this is what kind of starts Maleficent's conquest to try and get all the all the princesses' hearts in the end. Also, this is kind of the start of Terra's downfall, because he also helps Maleficent inadvertently, because Maleficent managed to control them. So this kind of feeds on to later on in the story. Yeah, I do like the character arcs. Obviously, it provides a little bit more backstory about what happens in the later Kingdom Hearts video games. So that's why I put it at number 6 on this list. Number 5, Beast's Castle, Kingdom Hearts 2. So for me, this one is based more off the story than it is the level design, But the level does have one or two of the more significant places from Beauty and the Beast, which this map is based off. First off, I should say Beauty and the Beast is my all-time favourite Disney film. I should mention that just Disney, not any of their side properties, when it comes to animated films. So yes, the level is set around the time when Beast and Belle are about to have their ball dance. You also see cameos from the golden dress and Beast's bluish suit, I feel like. Something like that. But it's interrupted with Zolden, a member of Organization 13, trying to turn Beast into a Heartless and a Nobody so they can use him to, well, add to their ranks. That doesn't happen in the end, and eventually Belle steals the rose back that Zolden has stolen, and eventually you get rid of Zolden. This boss battle was actually fairly difficult, I have to say, the one against Zolden. So this is, for me, one of the boss battles I struggled with the most in Kingdom Hearts 2, along with Roxas and, yeah, actually, I think it was those two mainly. The boss battle, the end one, I did one try, but yeah, that was quite long. But anyway, getting back to it. So yes, overall, I'd say this is a nice level, and also I waited a long time to hear Paige O'Hara as Belle and also Beast, so that was nice to have some of the original voice actors back. So that's why this is number 5 on this list. Number 4, the Kingdom of... Actually, no, I'm going to call it Tangled. Kingdom Hearts 3. So, yes, I bet Disney are regretting calling this what they decided to call it. So, the level in this is arguably one of the most picturesque levels you can find in any Kingdom Hearts title. From Rapunzel's Tower to the Kingdom itself. Personally, I think the Kingdom itself is one of the best areas of any Kingdom Hearts game. So, yes, if I would have done this list 2 years ago, actually, this level would probably not have been on this list. But when I saw Tangled last year, it actually became my favourite Disney film since Mulan. So, yeah, so it's got that behind it. So the story itself, it does follow the story of Tangled, which is Disney's take on Rapunzel. There are one or two bits which are a little bit out of sync, I feel like, with the film. One of the more notable ones I noticed was the... I think the bag with the tiara. That was one of the more notable things, which I thought was a bit out of place, but that might be explained like off-camera type thing, because obviously you don't see all of the characters all the time. But yeah, it actually does have the ending they kept almost the same, which I feel is pretty good because the film Tangled actually has some of the more powerful scenes, in my opinion, from a Disney film, especially I See the Light and Flynn Rider's kind of stabbing slash healing. Yeah, I think it's actually quite a good film. And the level itself is, like I said, pretty good, pretty detailed. The only reason it's not in the top 3 is because after Rapunzel gets her haircut at the end of the level, you can't have her as a companion anymore. So in the level you travel with Rapunzel to the kingdom, but then afterwards she's no longer available as a companion. So if you want to have Rapunzel as a companion, just beware that you might have to create a backup save. So that's why it's number 4 on this list. Number 3, Monstropolis, Kingdom Hearts 3. So for me, this is quite a unique world in 2 respects. Firstly, Kingdom Hearts 3 introduced a couple of Pixar worlds, which we'd never had before, so that was quite unique. And second, this is actually one of the few levels I've come across which has a completely original story. So before Monsters of Work came out in 2021, you could argue that this could have actually been canon in the actual Monsters Inc. timeline, because what happens is this is set sometime after after Mike and Sully take over the factory and turn it into laugh power instead of scare power. There's a couple of scare canisters still around the map, but also you see Boo again, so you could argue. You could also say that like this was set after Boo's door was fixed. But yeah, so the story itself is Sora, Donald, and Goofy enter in the world. Oh, I should actually say, look, some people were a little bit worried or annoyed by the way Sora, Donald, and Goofy looked. I actually think it's fine because they're designed to look like monsters, so I think it's fine. So yeah, they meet up with Solly and Mike, who are on a kind of a play date with Boo, and then the Unversed appear. So the Unversed making their first return since Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, I believe. And then eventually Randall's also back from being banished. Eventually you deal with him and also Vanitas as well later on. And this actually has one of my favourite scenes in all of Kingdom Hearts, where Vanitas is about to steal Sora's heart. Well, sorry, Aventus's heart inside Sora. When Solly comes up behind him, gives him like the scare growl and chucks him through a couple of doors, which I think is quite funny. But the level design itself is really good. I really like the way they've designed Monsters Incorporated. You've got the door vault, you've got the entranceway. Also, for some reason, my voice is creaking. No idea why. And also, you've got one of the better team-up animations in the form of the group of Sora, Donald, Goofy, Solly, and Mike doing the scare growl, and then Sora throwing Mike like a bowling ball, which I think is a little bit of a reference to the end of the original Monsters Inc., where Mike is actually referring to himself as "'cause I was the ball" when he was doing his comedy sketch. So I think that's a nice little reference there. But yeah, nice design, original story, and that's why I've put it at number 3 on this list. Number 2, The Dark World, Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep, 0.2, A Fragmented Passage. Boy, that's a mouthful. So, with this one, admittedly, this is a little bit of a cheat because this one is kind of a mixture of quite a few levels, but it is technically classified as one world, so that's why it was eligible for this list. So, Birth by Sleep 0.2, A Fragmented Passage, takes place after the main Birth by Sleep game, in which Aqua is stranded in the Dark World after saving Terra. So, 10 years have gone by since Birth by Sleep, and then it turns out that Aqua discovers that 3 of the worlds that you visit in Birth by Sleep has actually been captured. Those being the realms of Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Snow White. For me in particular, Snow White is one of the most unique worlds I think of any. So one of the most unique sections or levels of any Kingdom Hearts game because of the shattering magic mirror. So like you have to travel, you have to solve like mirror-based puzzles, you have to work out kind of gravity puzzles and stuff like that, and eventually you have to even face a doppelganger of yourself, which is actually not that easy. The other thing is this is where we first get introduced to the to what I'm going to call the Tower of Heartless, where it's, well, Tornado of Heartless, something like that. And there's also a nice little ending because it turns out at the end, after kind of leaving the world of Sleeping Beauty, Mickey ends up finding you. And this happens right in the build-up to the original Kingdom Hearts, where you're trying to lock the door to Kingdom Hearts. So that's a nice little tie-in there. But the reason Aqua isn't saved is because Mickey and Riku are trying to close the door. Mickey gets the key, but in the process, Aqua is, in order to save Riku, well, in order to defend Riku, Aqua kind of blocks another tower of Heartless, but eventually the Heartless chases her out, throws her out, and back into kind of a Destiny Island kind of world, you could say. As a result, Aqua is trapped, and she's just, yeah, at the end of the game, she kind of sinks further into darkness. And that's kind of a little bit where Mickey and Riku pick up in Kingdom Hearts 3 is searching for Aqua. But the gameplay is good. Also, side note, I know this isn't really level based, this is more the gameplay based, but in this level, Aqua does actually feel like a proper master. In Kingdom Hearts 3, it feels like they've gone back to a little bit more of a basic magic power level, but in this one, it does feel like Aqua is a master. So yeah, there's a nice little thing. But so overall, really nice looking worlds, good gameplay. The story develops more of the back lore, building up to Kingdom Hearts 3, which, like I said, the Keyblade Graveyard kind of pays off all these things in particular. However, I thought personally, while this world is very good and I enjoyed it a lot, there is one other world which I think, for me, has to be my favourite world, and let's reveal what it is now. And taking the number 1 spot on this list, we have at number 1, Toy Box from Kingdom Hearts 3. So yeah, I had to say that carefully because the first time I recorded it, that popped to hell. So anyway, yes. So this level has just about everything you could want from a Kingdom Hearts game, Kingdom Hearts level. Firstly, it's based on Toy Story, which Toy Story 3 is my favourite animated film of all time. Second, it has a very unique story, just like Monstropolis. It has a unique story which is not based on any of the films. So the story is that you turn up in Andy's bedroom and to find that some of the toys have started to go missing, along with, as it turns out, Andy and some of the humans. So you try and search for them, and your search eventually brings you to Galaxy Toys. There you meet the young Xehanort, who tells you that this world has been split into 2. So one world has like some of the toys, such as Jessie and people like that, along with Andy and the humans, while this world has Buzz, Woody, Rex, Mr. Ham, the aliens, and the soldiers. Also, it also makes Buzz's laser actually turn real. So, in the end, Buzz struggles to trust you, and in the end, that kind of costs him because he kind of gets corrupted by Heartless, and you have to free him from the young Xehanort. In the end, you do, and yeah, so. However, when you leave the world, it's actually still separate. So, the only thing is, I don't know what happens to the world in the end. But yeah. Gameplay wise, this is also one of the most unique mechanics in the Kingdom Hearts game because of the mechs that you can control. So there are 3 types of mechs. There's the blue one, which fires plasma rounds or something like that, plasma grenades or something like that. Then you've got the charger in the form of the red one, so like a charging punch, and then you've got the pink one, which will fire laser cannons. There is also a mini game which you can use these in, which is a nice little thing to add. The maps themselves, so Galaxy Toys is definitely a very big open world map. It's not as big as the Caribbean, but it's definitely quite a nice little big map. So you can have some good fun in there. Also, the voice acting. So I don't know if Tim Allen came back to do Buzz Lightyear, but I do know that Tom Hanks' brother did Woody, and overall, I'd say it's hard to really notice that it's not Tom Hanks. In fairness, Tom Hanks' brother has done the Woody merchandise for years, as revealed by Tom Hanks in an interview. Actually, I forgot to mention that the Rapunzel voice actress and Solly, they didn't reprise their roles, but I think they still did a very good job with the people they brought in. You'd struggle to notice actually after a little bit. So yes, so unique story, great level, unique gameplay, and pretty good story. So that's why for me, Toy Box is number 1 on my Kingdom Hearts worlds.